Good afternoon, everybody. DJ Styles. Okay. I did cut the eyebrows back, or eyebrows. I want to say the under scowl eye. I don't know what you want to call this protruding area here, along with the eyelid. I would call this all one big eyelid. How's that? We're just going to call it the eyelid area. I did cut this back a little bit because it was just protruding out a little too far on both sides, which means I had to redo the eyebrows. Now, when you're getting down and you're getting this close to finished, you're really paying attention to the closest details. I am working with, my man Nick would call it pinhead-sized pieces of clay. I call it crumbs of clay. I'll give it my own name. Like, I'll work with little pieces of clay like this to fill into areas where I'm trying to make this perfect shape of the eyebrow. The eyebrows, believe it or not, the slightest little change this way or that way with the eyebrows changes the entire attitude of this Michael Myers mask. Now, here's the thing, and I some people would say differently, and some people would agree with me. And I mean, experts and I'm no expert. I'm new at this this mask making business. I'm a fairly good artist, but the way I look at the Michael Myers mask in general, all right, the mask was never a sculpture, all right? It was a life cast, which means it was an actual copy of a human face, all right? That got altered over time because of, one, the mask was a kid-sized mask, and whenever somebody wore it, it changed the features and made it look weird, all right? So that was one problem. The other problem was this mask was made and put out in 1975. It was a Captain Kirk kid's mask. And they took it from the store shelf and altered it. Well, the mask was made in 1975, all right? The movie wasn't made until 1978. So there's 3 years of production that went on with this mask. And as production goes on, things change. All of a sudden, the mask gets a little bit more demented. Something just doesn't stay true to its original form over when things are produced. So this mask really is a complete accident, but man, is it really tough. It is a very, very hard mask to replicate. And my theory is it's because it is actually a life cast. Now, you can try to recreate the actual Don Post William Shatner mask, or you're going to try and alter that version into the movie mask itself, which was the altered look. And I'm trying to do a little of both. So yes, my mask is a little smoother than a lot of masks out there because I'm trying to follow true to what this originally was, and that was a life cast of somebody's actual face. Now, where I changed it a little bit was I did give it the lines up over top of the forehead, which I was going to say no to, and I wasn't even going to put the sideburns on. But I decided, yeah, you know what? I'll go best of both worlds. You know what I mean? I did texture this. You can zoom in. You see how it's got texture now, so the paint will grab to it. But my mask is still my mask. My sculpture is still very, very. This is clay, by the way. This is not latex you're looking at here. But my sculpture. Why is that? I must have. I'll have to touch that up. It's not red. It's not scratches. It looks like it's just might have got some kind of grease on it or something. I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, yeah, my point is I want the actual look of the original mask as a life cast, not a sculpture. I don't want it to look chunky, bulgy in spots, and like it just. I don't know though, and honestly, when I look at it, when I see other masks that are made like that, I like that too, because it's just that it can give an altered creepiness to it when the face isn't perfectly smooth and stuff. So, but here's the thing: I don't want to copy somebody else's work. I don't want to sit there and copy my man Nick. I don't want to copy anybody to their mask. I mean, I know I can. I'm not saying I can't. I'm that confident in my abilities. I can do that. But I don't want to copy somebody's work. That's just like, I can get it so close to where you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And I don't want that. I don't want that. Yes, and this does take months. This is my second attempt at Michael Myers. My first one was a rush job. And I thought, God, I started this in October. I've got 6 months wrapped up into this sculpture, trying to perfect it, really trying to perfect it, and looking at different pictures and then seeing different angles and seeing all these different little, things that you go, oh my God, I don't have this right. I don't have that right. And it's not because my art's not there. It's because I'll see something different in a picture where I'll get a better angle and I'll go, oh my God, all right. I see where I'm wrong here, and then just you're making these little changes. The changes all stop the minute I stone this thing. When I put the stone on here, that's it. That's a done deal, because I'm not going to go back. And I'm not going to be one of these Michael Myers masks. I'm going to keep making another Michael Myers mask. This is it, one and done for me. What I mean by that, though, is I am going to take this, after I demold this out of the plaster, I'm going to, and hopefully I don't damage it too much, but I'm just going to fix what gets damaged and bring it back to this exact look, all right? And then what I'm going to do is put the scratches in it and, the age. I'm going to give it an aged look. And yes, it will get more texture. I will round off the eyebrows, the eyelids right in this area right here. That was more rounded going into the mask. I'll definitely do that. And I'm going to it's going to look like that when it's done. So, it's not going to look exactly like that. It's going to look more like the actual original Shatner mask. You're going to get this, but aged to look like that. So that's the goal. And then I'll do this mask right here. When I mold this, and I take this off, this is going to make 2 masks. It's going to make the 1978 and the 1981. I'm just going to put the dirt that was on the mask, make it yellow, hair it a little bit lighter blonde. I'm not gonna change, because that's exactly the Halloween 2 1981 mask was actually the same mask that they used in 1978, but it aged a little bit, and the actor had a wider head, so it stretched the mask out. So what I'm going to do is make I'm going to make a much smaller version of this and a very thin casted mask. This way, if you have a wide head, you're going to get that natural stretch, and it's going to give you that same look. And the other thing I want to do is possibly, if you even have a smaller head than that, you can always put foam padding on the insides of both sides, right where the eye area is, right around where your temples are, to push the mask out and to give you that look. You can stuff the mask to make it look the way you want it to look. So that's my point. H1 and H2, Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, are going to be made from this sculpture. And then I'm going to take this sculpture, turn it into the 2018. And then from the 2018, I am going to do the same sculpture into the 2022. Or no, the burnt. I'm going to do the burnt one. I don't think I'm going to do the last movie. I think I'm just going to, because they're liable to go back to the original Shatner. I think that's what I heard rumors, but I don't know how real that is either. So, but they're liable to go right back to the original mask, because I think I think that after 2018 and after it got burnt and bullet hole in the cheek, I mean, how much more can that mask take where you're going to lose the look of Michael Myers? So my point to the whole thing is simply this: 2022 will be its own entity, I think. I may, if it goes back to a Shatner and it looks it looks different than what this is, I don't think I'm even going to mess with it. I just don't. I think I'm going to make 1 and 2, 2018, 2021. And the 2021 has the burnt on the, the hairs burn off and it's burnt on the side, and there's a bullet hole in the cheek. I'm going to make that mask after I complete the 2018, because I don't really have to do much more other than see. I need to see better details of the actual mask to see what it looks like on the burnt side, because I want it to be accurate. I want it to be accurate. So I have to wait until we get good shots of that mask. Hopefully there are good shots, so. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful weekend. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Yeah. So I'm going to work over at the Inlet tonight and tomorrow night. If you guys are local, come on out and join me. I'm DJing over there. I've been there for 2.5 years, 3 years, something like that. And it's a good time. I hope you love the old school, because that's what I play. A lot of old school disco, funk, and dance music. Some crossover of some like new wave of the 80s, and some rock and roll, but not very often, depending on the crowd. It depends on who's there. So I do follow the crowd. So it's at the Inlet in North Wildwood. It's on Spruce and Old New Jersey Avenue. So if you guys are in North Wildwood and you guys are looking for a party, come on out and join us. There every Friday and Saturday night. But anyway, this is you know what? I'm done. I'm pretty much done. There's not much left to do to this. I just keep looking at things and I keep altering little specks of clay like this. And there's no fun in showing you how to manipulate a crumb of clay, why do you want to see that? It's just really not videotaping, but when I do the next videos of making putting the 2018, when I start launch, I will video that whole process. I will do it in time lapse. Hopefully I got to learn how to do that, where I can do fast forwarding and you can watch me sculpt in a time lapse video, and I'll make 10-minute videos. So this way they're not too long. I'll do 10-minute of segment of, like, say maybe I'm working on this area here, and I do it in fast forward so you can see what I'm doing, but I'm not going to go so fast you can't tell what I'm doing. So I want to try and keep my videos at a short, 10 to 15 minutes tops, and show the process. And I can't wait to get to that point, because I'm bored with this. Some people, oh my God, it looks amazing. To me, it's like, okay, it's old news. I need to get to the next level here. That's what happens when you're an artist. You get bored once you get to the point where you're finished. When you're finished and you really are working with crumbs of clay to perfect everything, you really have this impatience that builds up, and that can screw you too. So remember this: if you're a new sculptor out there, when you get to the finish line, don't rush to jump that line, because you really have to overlook and change the angles, change the lighting, really look at your piece over and over and over and over again to really get it to where it looks great, and then finally get to mold. When you feel like you can't do anything more, that's when you're ready. you know, and, you know, if you're really happy with the way it looks. The video squashes the face. It makes it look more narrow, so it's not real accurate the way it looks on film, because of, I don't know if it's the type of lens. I don't know. See how the eyes narrow down now, and it's wider. It looks good. It's on the money. It's really on the money. I've measured everything that I can measure. So anyway, I want you guys to have a wonderful weekend. Oh, there's one thing too about why I'm going with the life cast look is because it's more organic. Like when you look at the eyebrows, I love the way this kind of dips down just a little bit and then goes back up and then tapers off. All right, and it has this undercut that kind of follows suit with the overcut. It's got an organic realism look. It doesn't look fake. All right, and there's those little details. I think that some sculptures I see, they lose that element because of the fact that they're trying to sculpt the mask instead of trying to make an actual Michael Myers mask. So with that said, you guys have a great day.